Hello and welcome back. I have done quite a bit of work actually since the last time I saw you yesterday. I finished up the chassis, as you can see. Just about the only place there's any coating left was here. There was a bunch of pitting. I had to hit it with the navel jelly 2 or 3, almost four times in some spots. So the only plating really left is at the front of the radio. I have to say, I broke down and I bought. I had to go to Harbor Freight because I needed 1,000 grit sandpaper, and it's right around the corner. So while I was there, they had ultrasonic cleaners, and I bought one. And I have to say, I put the tuning condenser in there after I had sprayed it down with 409, and it came out rather super clean. Even the copper came clean. What I had done, when I was done and it was drying, inside the veins were all in good condition, but inside there were some bits of corrosion, little spots on it. So what I did was, I have 3 sizes of these. These are actually real pipe cleaners. I live around the corner from a pipe store too. So anyway, this is the middle size. I have a smaller size. So with the smaller size, but I used the last few of them. So down in here I was able to put it in there, and these medium ones, I'm not going to push it because it starts to, it fits in, but the small ones fit in even easier, and they don't disturb anything. So I was able to knock all those little junk pieces off, and I'll tell you, these, even after the ultrasonic cleaner, which I just used a couple of drops of dishwashing, so because of the aluminum, this did a really wonderful job if you can find the smaller ones. So what else did it do here? Oh, amazing. Do you remember how nasty the bulb was? In the shield, interestingly, I used some washing soda in the ultrasonic cleaner for about half an hour, and it took off all of the corrosion. It took that spray paint that got oversprayed. Took that out, so I'm gonna paint it with silver or something. So that actually came out really nice. And the tube shields I zapped at the same time, and these were quite brown. And like I said, this was just with washing soda, which is sodium carbonate, I guess. So I wouldn't use it on the aluminum. In fact, actually, these are starting to rust again, and they've only been out for a couple of hours. But this is just bare metal, and it took a half an hour in the ultrasonic cleaner, so I was very impressed with that. Even got the rust off the inside. The chassis washers, I forgot the name of the site again, and I was going to tell you, but most of you guys know where it is. I found the ones I need, and between that and the eccentric chassis washers and the $28 dial, it's going to be $60 so far, and that's just for a couple of things. So sometimes I guess the caps are cheap and the resistors are cheap, but like the chassis washers are $6 a piece, so you need 2. That's 12. So I also I went to get some paint for the chassis, and John uses the Rust-Oleum appliance epoxy in stainless steel. However, none of the Home Depots around here, or any place, the only colors I can find are the black, white, and almond. So in one of his videos, the 630B restoration, one of his subscribers recommended matte nickel. So I picked up some matte nickel, and since this was pretty bad and it was going to rust again, I went ahead and painted the front of it with the matte nickel. So this is what it looks like. Let's see if I can zoom in on that, in case anybody is interested in what the color looks like. So I'm going to spray the chassis with it, but I'll do that tomorrow. So this is what matte silver looks like. Alright, and the mystery wire solved. The one of the things I thought was kind of funny is I was sitting here looking at the schematic, and I found where the wire went on the schematic, but then I realized before I start these, I usually take a bunch of pictures with my camera of the underside of the chassis. So I went back and opened up the picture, and sure enough, this wire popped off of here. It goes all the way under the volume control, under the switch, and comes back over to this Bakelite block, and then goes to these two resistors that equal 780,000 ohms, and they mount to this coil, to this resistor. So mystery solved. And I haven't messed with the tone control. I looked, and the capacitor is only, you know, it's a 0.22, and the schematic calls for a 0.20, so I don't think there's much of a difference in there. The electrolytics are out. I did find some residual paper on here, and another piece had flaked off, and it actually had the P and part of the H, so these were cardboard covered, you know, OEM ones. They just guess they covered over the actual manufacturer. Even that's pretty much worn off. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the cans still. I've got to figure out how to get this one open. I think I was reading somewhere you could pry it open up to here. I don't know how ugly that would look, because if I cut it out from down here, it's going to be against the chassis. It may just end up being hollow. And I looked again, and actually it calls for 2/8 and a 16, not 2/8 and a 10. So at least on the component, underside component, this was an 8, this was an 8, and this was the 16. So kind of weird, because like I said, this was an 8, and you know, one of these was a 16. So it was just, I guess I'm not sure. I guess if one's wet, one's dry, whatever. So I'll figure all this stuff out in the future, and I will go ahead and paint it. I had some problems with getting tape. Well, I have my cute little caps here. I'm gonna have fun painting around. There's the compensating condensers are right underneath here, and there were so many little wires. I had a hard time getting the tape up, so I ended up doing these little caps. And so then I decided, well, the caps are kind of fun. So I went ahead and did that, and these are done. And the back, this one side here is really sharp. I keep semi-cutting myself. So the back end here is looking okay. I actually cut the power cable because I had I'm gonna put this wire on there. I did another radio, and I wanted to put cloth wire on it, and I didn't know how the colors really looked in person versus online, so I bought one of each, and the other color, the cotton one, won out on that one, but the rayon one I'm going to put on this. So, and I have a little acorn plug to stick on the end of it. So that's pretty much it for now. I'm just going to go ahead and paint this tomorrow, and we'll give you guys an update in a couple of days. Have a good one.